Hello everyone, this is the presentation for the 2020 George Stevens Academy golf team. Our tryouts this year will be held from September 8th through the 11th and will consist of 4 sessions. The first session will be held at Tasha's driving range in Sedgwick, and that will be a skills assessment. We'll break everyone up into 2 groups, one from 4:30 to 5:30, one from 5:30 to 6:30. On Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, each day we will play a 9-hole qualifying match at Blue Hill Country Club. The time of those qualifiers will be from 4:45 to 7:45. Players will be judged on character, being a positive and supportive teammate, golf etiquette, desire to play, knowledge, and skill of the game. The top 8 golfers shooting a combined score of 129 or less for the 3 days of qualifying will be the 2020 George Stevens Academy varsity golf team. The remaining golfers will be placed on the JV team. Match participation, along with our rules and expectations. So qualifying for regular season matches, the top 5 players will participate in all of those matches. Other players may play as alternates, however, this is not guaranteed. And players' position in matches will be determined by one or a combination of the following: their previous match score, their previous practice match score, or at the coach's discretion. This is an example of how we would reorder our group from one match to the next. So John, Jacob, Jingleheimer, Schmidt, you see their match score and their playing order based on how they performed in the previous match. So Jacob had the lowest score. He will play as our number 1 golfer in that next match. Qualifying for the 2020 postseason. The top 5 players with the lowest match average will represent George Stevens golf in the postseason. Averages will be totaled before the last regular season match, and the 3 lowest match averages will be locked in for the postseason. The remaining players will be required to play a play-in match to qualify, with the following exceptions. The remaining players will not have to qualify if they have a match average of 6.5 strokes better than the next best average. And how this works, here's an example of golfers, 4 of whom are locked in based on their match averages. The 3 in orange will be competing for 1 spot. If we do have a playoff match, that will take place during the team's practice round at Jado Highlands Golf Club. This will be an 18-hole playoff. If there are 3 or more players in contention, as in the example on the screen, we'll have a 9-hole playoff match at Blue Hill Country Club to determine 2 players to move on to the 18-hole playoff match. Practices will be held to schedule at Blue Hill Country Club, Castine Golf Club, or the Pine Ridge Golf Center, and possibly other facilities in the area, and practices are mandatory. Our dress code: all golfers are required to wear neat shorts or slacks, a belt, and a golf shirt. Obviously, that has to have a collar, and it should be tucked in. We require this to be worn to all practices and matches, and this attire must be worn prior to getting on the bus for away matches. And remember, you guys, you look good, you feel good, you play good. Attitude and etiquette: each team member will be held accountable for their behavior. They will demonstrate and be held responsible for the rules and etiquette on the golf course and around the clubhouse. Unsportsmanlike conduct, cheating, throwing balls, throwing clubs, throwing hats, and/or loss of temper, swearing, etc., will result in removal from the team or a demotion. Unsportsmanlike conduct, cheating specifically. Regardless of your match average, if you are caught intentionally cheating, you will not be considered for the postseason. We will constantly be reviewing the rules of golf, meaning that ignorance is not a valid excuse. If we do have to take any disciplinary action, the top player from the JV team will assume the roster spot on the varsity team. And travel and transportation: you must ride the bus to all away matches, and you must arrive to GSA 15 minutes prior to departure with your equipment and be dressed in your uniform ready to go. All players will be responsible for finding their own transportation to and from practices. And due to the current pandemic situation this year, GSA may have other rules that will apply to travel and transportation this season. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at tryouts.